My name is Jabari Dyer. Today we're sitting down with,
Lauren O'Hara.
and we are going to be going over sports. So Lauren, what sports have you played?
I've played basketball since I was probably like 8. And then I started playing soccer when I was a little bit older. And then more recently I did I did bowling in high school.
Would you say you're a good bowler?
Yeah, I'd say I did a lot of bowling. We actually ended up going to state, so we were pretty good for our team.
How did you get into bowling?
My older sister did bowling, and I had seen some of her friends do it, and then I realized how big of a sport it actually was and all the technicalities that go along with it.
So you got introduced to bowling through another person, through like hearsay, you would say?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you watch a lot of sports now that you're out of high school and you no longer bowl?
Yeah, I watch, initially I didn't really watch that many, but then I watch basketball, the NBA, specifically the Milwaukee Bucks, when it's bigger games, and just whenever I can. For football, I don't really watch that a whole bunch unless it's like where I'm eating dinner or something in the background, like I'll glance at it, but I don't really know a whole bunch about it.
Okay. Would you say that you are a sports advocate, or would you say you don't really watch sports that often?
I'd say I'm kind of in between, because I wouldn't say I'm such like an avid lover to where I watch every single game, but if it is something that like a close game, or if I know it's like for something important, I'll try my best to watch every single game, basically.
So you wouldn't consider yourself a super
I wouldn't say I'm
fan.
a super fan.
You're not a super fan?
But
Okay.
I do enjoy watching when it's on.
Okay. When you are watching sports, how do you hear about the information? Is it through TV? Is it through media? Is it from the players directly? How would you say you directly get your information?
I'd say mostly through social media, just because I don't watch a lot of like cable television anymore. It's a lot more streaming services, so it's a lot harder to get the information about when the games are and what kind of games they're playing, who they're playing against, and all that on TV. Social media wise, I do follow a lot of basketball accounts and some football ones here and there, but I basically get all my information on there when they say when the next game is and things like that.
What accounts do you normally use to receive the information?
I get a lot from Instagram for the most part. Occasionally I'll get some stuff on Facebook, but that's more from like friends and family sharing when the games are, and then I see it through that. But from Instagram, it's more from like the actual NBA account or whatever team it is that I like. I have followed on there.
How accurate is the info that you receive from those accounts?
I like to think that it's accurate, but realistically, I know it's probably not. I think of a lot, it was probably just for show, make the team look good, make it seem like they're doing well and things like that. I mean, it can only be so accurate if it's social media.
When you're comparing the team accounts to the players' personal accounts, do you notice anything that's different by the way they talk, by the info they post, or the information that you receive from the accounts?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say all of it's kind of guarded. Like, you can tell that they're not saying always what they want to be saying. But I'd say more their personal accounts seem to focus more on their, like, family, lifestyles, and stuff like that. Whereas the actual basketball accounts are more just about promoting the sport, showing highlights, how they interact with fans, and things like that.
With that being said, which do you prefer?
I mean, I prefer seeing the personal life and lifestyles that they have, just because I feel like that's more genuine, and it reflects more like who they are as a person, not who the NBA wants to reflect them as.
So they're not a character.
Yeah.
They're not playing a character, they're playing themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think there's a way that we can regulate the info that's being released so that these players are not characters and they're portrayed as themselves?
I would like to think that there's a way. I think it's pretty hard because most businesses like to put up a front as to make all the players look better and make everybody want to watch. I mean, I'm sure at some point there'll be some way that we can kind of limit it, but I also feel like the reason so many people watch these social media accounts and the videos and things like that is because they're getting the videos shown to them that they want to see. Because if it was videos they didn't really want to see, then they'd probably be less likely to view it. So I think the sports organizations kind of pick up on what people want to see and run with it.
So when these organizations are posting, do you think they're posting for the fan, or do you think they're posting for the algorithm? Because I feel like there's a big difference between what people want to see and what people are forced to see.
I think in a way it's kind of a mix of both, because I think they want to make posts that they know are going to get a lot of views, they know they're going to get a lot of interaction from the fans. I know some fans probably wouldn't care about certain partnerships and stuff like that they show on there, but it's all just to help build their business, I believe. So I'd say it's probably more algorithm and business based, less about what necessarily the fan would 100% like to see. Obviously kind of has to be what they want to see too, along with the algorithm, but I think it's kind of a mix of both.
Okay. So when you're looking at this, the content that these organizations and teams are posting, and you come across videos or comments or quotes that they say, and it's directly coming from the player, do you believe that it's real or do you believe it's fake? And how do you know the difference?
I think a lot of it, like with the after they play a game and they do the post interviews, I think a lot of that is probably not 100% true to what they'd like to say, because I'm sure part of it is they would get fined if they said something bad about the refs or about another player and things like that, because they don't want to completely wreck the relationship they have between the different teams. So I don't think that's accurate to what they want to say at all. And then, what was the other question?
How many sports accounts do you think other players follow? Like the players, how many sports accounts would you say they follow? Do you think they follow a lot of team accounts, or do you think they follow more personal player accounts?
I think they follow more personal player accounts just because of the relationships they build with each other. Personally, I don't think they would follow. I mean, they'd probably follow the team that they're on just to help support it and grow it and everything. But I don't think somebody that plays for the Bucks would necessarily be following the Pacers. I think they may follow players from there that they have played with in the past and care more about their actual personal life versus the business personal life.
So these players are also characters, are also being used in real life as entertainment, but they're also being shown on social media, and they're not really getting anything from it. For example, a player's personal account, they can upload something and they get the money from it, the engagement, the insights from all that. But when these teams post pictures and videos of that player, the player's not receiving anything from it other than just the views. Do you think the players should get a cut of the money that the teams receive from these photos and videos that are being posted?
In a way, I think yes, just because, I mean, it is a job to have to be constantly getting videos taken of you, doing interviews and things like that. So in a way, I feel like they should get a cut. I mean, I know they get paid a lot for what they do, but when you think about how many games they play a season and all the extra stuff they have to do on top of that, it is a full-time job and more. So I think they should be getting a cut of the extra time they put in, kind of like an overtime pay.
Correct. That makes sense. So then with that being said, the people that are posting or making all the work for these players, should they also get a cut of that too, since they're the ones putting in the work?
Yeah, I would say.
Just as much as the player?
Yeah, they should get extra pay too, just because of the time they have to take to work around probably the busy player's schedule and also they're the one who's pushing the content for the player. So they're, in a way, they're benefiting the player. So I guess in a way, the workers are the ones that are actually pushing the content, creating the content, and making it for the player to make the player look better. So I definitely think they should be getting a cut, maybe even bigger than the player.
So when you add money into the situation, do you trust accounts that have more followers and more money behind them, or less followers and less money?
I trust the less followers, less money, because then they're not doing it to make money. They're doing it because they enjoy what they're posting or what they're doing and they want to share it with everybody. When it comes to like getting paid for what they're doing, then it can seem a bit more fake and kind of just pushing more what they think people will want, not necessarily what they actually want to show people.
And when you're looking at accounts, is it more impressive to have followers or likes?
I think likes. Well, that's hard, because in a way you can buy both. So it's hard to fully trust if likes or followers are actually real people. I think a lot of times people will have a lot of followers, and when you actually look at their posts, they'll only have like 10 likes versus their thousands of followers, and then that obviously means that they probably bought the followers, or that their content isn't engaging enough for who they're trying to show it to.
Before, you mentioned that you follow the NBA and the WNBA a little bit. Do you notice any differences on the way that their content and communication and info is shared on social media?
Yeah, I mean, the WNBA has kind of been growing recently, probably mainly because of Caitlin Clark and because of just more attention towards it. So I think the WNBA has been pushing more of like trying to get people to come in, watch it, and care more about it. And then they use NBA players to help with that. They're just pushing content, trying to get more engagement. Whereas the NBA kind of already has that engagement, so I'd say they're more just maintaining what they have. And they already know they're going to get plenty of likes and people commenting and stuff like that because they already have a following. Whereas the WNBA is trying to grow that following.
Looking in the future, do you think content on social media and the info that's portrayed over media is going to get larger or start to dwindle over the next few years?
I think it'll get larger, but also, I mean, it'll depend on what social media is kind of trending at that point, because right now we're very much in a like video type of trend, like TikTok's all videos, Instagram, lots of people are watching reels. Same thing with Facebook, it's a lot more videos are what kind of shares the information. So I think it'll just kind of depend on what social media turns into. If we stop using Instagram and stop using TikTok, then what's going to be next? Is it going to be kind of like a Twitter or something else? So I think it's always changing, whatever social media is and how things are getting communicated. So yeah, I don't fully know. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
As a fan, if you had a message to a team or organization on what they posted, what would it be?
I would like them to be more authentic and show behind the scenes that are not fake or altered in any way. Like, I don't want picture perfect. I want to see like what it should actually be like, what it would be like to be a player or be in the locker rooms or be playing at practice. I want to see what it would be like to be one of them, not what they think we want to see.
That makes sense. Well, thank you for answering some of my questions today.
Thank you.